I want to talk about this. So for those of you that have been brewing for a while, you know what this is. For those of you that don't, it stands for relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. And it's harder to exercise that philosophy sometimes than what it sounds. And I'll explain what I mean. So about a month ago, I had a day where I was going to brew. And, the first problem is I wasn't brewing live with you because it seems like when I do that, everything goes good, everything is fine. So that was the first problem. Second problem was that I was brewing two different batches at once. I was brewing on the RoboBrew and I was brewing on the big system behind me. I was doing a zombie dust clone on the RoboBrew, and I cannot remember for the life of me what I was doing on the big system. I think it might have been a wheat beer or something like that. I don't know. Something quick. I was trying to knock some stuff out because I was really busy. First thing that went wrong, I had brewed the Soulless Hop Pale Ale or the Zombie Dust clone before with a kit from Morebeer, so I was just kind of duplicating that with some ingredients from my home brew shop. And the first thing I did wrong was I read my instructions wrong and I put 2 ounces of hops in at bittering, which was incorrect. So that was the first problem. Then after that, everything else went pretty much according to plan. All I did with that, by the time I realized that I was about halfway through the boil, I pulled out the hop sack that I had. Fortunately, I had a hop sack in there, so I pulled that out. And I still wound up with a little bit more bitters than what I thought. But the true issue that I had was hot side aeration. Now, I know it's a polarizing topic. John Palmer, John Kimmich, all them say, it happens. And, don't do that. And then, I know Marshall over at Brewlosophy, he's done some research on it and couldn't tell a difference. Well, I'm here to tell you, I was chilling down the RoboBrew and I thought I'd be smart. I'd grab some hoses and hook up the Riptide pump and recirculate while I was letting the immersion chiller work. And wound up not getting one of the clasps on the cam lock completely latched. And it was sucking air into the line. And it was probably doing that for about 30 minutes maybe, because I was doing other stuff and didn't realize it. I don't know if you've ever been to the beach and seen like sea foam, that nasty protein, like brown gelatinous crap that comes up on the shore. That's what it looked like in the top of the RoboBrew. I was pretty devastated. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I tasted the wort, because I had done the last edition and it was like a flame out edition, and it had like 0 hop flavor to it at all. It just tasted pretty flat. And I'm like, man, I probably ruined this. So threw it in the carboy, put the yeast on there, everything. Went ahead and did it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try it, see what happens. And for about a month now, every time I walked by that carboy, I'd take a look at it and I'd just kick myself thinking, oh my gosh, what did I do? So I finally had to get some beers together for a party. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a sample of that beer and I'm going to try it out. I was just one of those things. I just put it in the corner and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to not worry about it right now and I'm just going to let it be. So I took a sample of it and surprisingly, bitterness was good. No weird off flavors, nothing that they say would be associated to it. And so I took a sample of it. And then those of you that follow me on social media, I wound up, dry hopping is like bacon. It pretty much fixes everything, well, almost. But so what I wound up doing was throwing in 2 ounces of Citra, 2 ounces of Eldorado, and 2 ounces of, what was the other one that I threw in there? I'm trying to think of what it was, Galaxy. And dry hopped it for like 4 days. And the resulting beer is this. And it actually turned out really nice. Matter of fact, cheers. I'm going to tell you it's not a zombie dust. It does not have nearly the character, but I will tell you that it is very drinkable. It tastes really good. It doesn't have quite the hop aroma and flavor that I wanted, but the dry hopping did certainly bring some of that back. But I guess my point of the whole video is, if you have a problem, and I see people asking questions about this all the time, my yeast didn't start right away or this or that or whatever, relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. So, a lot of times, a little bit of time will fix a lot of things. I know there's some stuff it doesn't fix, but as a matter of fact, leave me a comment down below what your relax, don't worry, have a homebrew moments are. What have you had that's been, you thought everything was screwed up and you were going to dump the beer? Fortunately for me, I have not dumped but 2 beers, and 2 of those were pre-fermentation. One of them I scorched the wort when I had a rim system, and then the second one, I don't know what I was doing. I was pouring in some yeast nutrient and I was doing it over the kettle like an idiot. This was when I was first brewing, and that stuff kind of clumps up sometimes, and like a whole mound of it just fell right in the kettle, and it basically ruined the beer. But other than that, I haven't had any issues where I've had to dump a beer. But leave a comment down below and let me know what beers you thought were going to be horrible, and then you wound up letting them sit and they turned out okay. You know, this is one of those things where, you know, beginner brewers a lot of times get stressed out about stuff. The hobby should be fun. So this is my, you know, my relax, don't worry, have a homebrew moment. Turned out okay. So it's proof positive that if you relax and just let time take its course and not worry about it too much, you'll probably wind up with a pretty good beer. So with that, this has been Brian for Short Circuited Brewers. I will see you on the next video. Cheers.